Looking at my research and findings, I began by looking at the psychology of sound, where I looked at setting, narration, diction, and timbre. Looking at an example of setting, we will look at Detroit Become Human. The scene I chose from this game uses music to back up the scene. The music in this scene builds on the intensity that is already taking place.
We should take down this asshole.
Clean shot, man.
Stay back! Don't come any closer or I'll jump!
No, please, I'm begging you!
Go, go, go! Hi, Daniel! My name is Connor! How do you know my name?
Now moving on to look at setting, narration. For this, I chose the Stanley Parable as this gave the most clear understanding of a narrator in a game.
Wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
And now, diction. This is a style of language chosen to generate mood and themes. For this, we will look at Ghost of Tsushima, as this game is in Japanese, and the use of subtitles allows the player to understand what is being said.
疲れるのを待って、人たちで倒します。
よろしい。敵がいかに策を巡らそうとも、武士たる者は臆すことなく戦わねばならぬぞ。
肝に銘じます。
ではわしの防御を崩。
Finally, looking at timbre for the final part of sound psychology. For this, I chose to look at Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil games in general have a good use of timbre in their music that flow with the gameplay, but here is a good example of it in Resident Evil 2, the remake. Next, for my findings and research, I looked at sound as information. I looked at sound as speech, iconic, symbolic, and metaphoric. Symbolic and metaphoric examples weren't easy to find, but I hope my examples show that I've understood them well. First, to look at speech. There are many examples I could have chose from, but the best for this I felt was Gladys from Portal 2 when she wakes up.
Hello!
Oh, it's you.
You know her?
It's been a long time. How have you been? I've been really busy being dead. You know, after you murdered me.
You did what? Oh no! No, 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 no! Oh no, 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 no! Ah!
Okay, look, we both said a lot of things that you're going to regret. But I think we can put our differences behind us. For science, you monster. I will say, though, that since you went to all the trouble of waking me up, you must really, really love to test. I love it too. There's just one small thing we need to take care of first.
Next, looking at iconic sounds. Here we will take a look at a few examples as they are short clips but very memorable sounds from games, such as the Pac-Man death noise. From Mortal Kombat, Toasty. Also from Mortal Kombat, Scorpions, Get Over Here.
Get over here!
And then finally, the Wii Sports tennis racket sounds. Moving on to symbolic sounds, These are sounds that have meaning behind them that is quite literal to the gameplay. We will look at two examples here, one being when enemies are close to you in Silent Hill and alarms ring, and the other from Nazi zombies when repairing a barrier. You hear a hammer tapping into nails. For my final part of sound as information, I looked at metaphoric sounds. For these examples, I chose the horn from Total War Rome 2, which indicates the start of the battle without it being said. Another example is joyful and happy music, which is representing fun and joy in heavy rain.
The Samnites prepare their attack on the hillside. Their numbers are too strong for us to consider an engagement. I have enough men.
It's my turn now, it's my turn!
Okay, Sean, get ready. Here we go.
Moving on in my findings to look at soundscape and score. Soundscape is a piece of music in terms of its components. For this I chose music from games that are fitting to the overall gameplay. A good example of this I felt was Crash Bandicoot, and here is my example of it. Next, moving on to score. Score is a piece of music that establishes mood or theme through melody and rhythm. A good example I felt this is again from Heavy Rain when Jason goes missing, as the rhythm of the music increases dramatically.
Jason!
For the final part of my film, we will briefly look at source, and for this we will look at examples of diegetic and non-diegetic audio. Good examples of these are music. The first two examples are music that can be heard by you and the character in-game, whilst the second two examples are only heard by the player themselves. Here we have the Barbershop Quartet from Bioshock Infinite. And then Grand Theft Auto 5 radio music. Those are the two examples of diegetic sounds. For the non-diegetic, we have The Witcher 3, and Arena, Mortal Kombat.